Hello. This week's episode is on Thursday We Leave for Home, about abandoned stellar colonists. When I watched this episode, I had this feeling that I'd seen it before, and not just I've seen this episode before, but that it was in like season 1 or maybe 2. But of course it wasn't. Hi, Kat. And it sort of unsettled me a bit. I don't know. It felt like a rerun in my head for some reason. The backdrop, whenever they are outside and not on this little soundstage with the bunker entrance and stuff, has this lovely painted backdrop to it, which is great. The shadows are a bit static, so you can see it, but it's a great little backdrop. And then, of course, they have the two suns that show off. You get to see a rare boom mic popping up into shot at the bottom of the screen. Most of the time, these are avoided in the Twilight Zone. They were very good with that. You get to see it in a lot of other TV, but not so much in the Twilight Zone. They've been here for 30 years, since 1991, the far future, and the age mix is a bit weird. So there are people here in their mid-30s, which means that they would have to have been 5 or 6 when they came here. But where are their parents? There aren't any people here over 60, at least not according to the captain. Did they all die? Like, are there no one? There's very few children here. Like, it's off, I think. It looks weird. The meteor shower is a great mix of effects, I think. It has these flaming pieces of debris that get flung down, and those are cut in. Whereas the physical debris is scattered from off-screen onto the poor extras. And that's real. I mean, it's not rocks, but it's real. And it reminded me of the Army of Darkness. When Bruce and the others are being led through the city square and people are like pelting them with rocks that are actually painted potatoes, I think. Jojo, the little kid, is actually the director's son, so a bit of Hollywood nepotism there. The spaceship, of course, is Forbidden Planet. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. There's a lot of props from Forbidden Planet in this show. They had hold of it. But unlike last time, when the gangway is lowered, it doesn't wobble. I mentioned it last time that we saw it, and now we don't have the wobble anymore, so they fixed it, I guess. So, Tim O'Connor, the Colonel, who lands here, he was not in any more Twilight Zone, but he was in a few, like, Outer Limits and stuff. But he was Dr. Hewer on the Buck Rogers TV show in the 80s. So that's where I recognized him from, at least. Now, they mentioned over and over that they travel 1 billion miles. Now, 1 billion miles is nothing. Like, in stellar context, it's absolutely nothing at all. I'm a bit surprised that Rod wouldn't have introduced, light years, or even had said tens of trillions of miles or something, because 1 billion miles is really not a lot at all. It's just in stellar terms, it's really not. You don't get out of the solar system on that. You don't even get, to the sun on that. That they mention the Finger Lakes in particular when they're asking about the Earth has to do with Rod. So Rod, he was, I don't know if he was from there, but his family used to vacation in that area when he was a kid. And when he retired, he actually lectured at the university there, which we have mentioned before, up until his death. So the Finger Lakes had held a very special meaning to him. And of course, he wrote this episode, so he made a notice of it. Now, next week's episode is Passage on the Lady Anne, and about I think there's some spoilers, so let's not get into it. And I'll see you then. Take care now.